I lost my dad when I was 15. Now at the age of 21, I'm realizing that at a young age, there were a lot of things that I should have learned that I wasn't exactly taught. And I understand that isn't really fair to pin all on him. I mean, for me to say that he should have taught me all of these things that I'm going to list to you, it would have to mean that he taught me these things when I was 13, 12, 11, which I can't pin on anybody. But at the same time, as a person who's had to then go into the world after losing him, around people who were smarter than me, who knew better than me, who wanted to take advantage of me, it made me realize that a lot of the information that I was missing out on, a lot of these people probably already had. And it also occurred to me that a lot of people who are hearing this video now probably haven't uncovered these things or learned these things. Maybe you're already in adulthood and you're still struggling, or maybe you're just a child who hasn't really had a person to teach them these things. Hopefully I can bring these to you and at least give you the knowledge that this isn't meant to be taken as gospel. It's just meant to be applied into your everyday life and everything that you do and how you interact with the people around you. And honest to God, it's helped me. I feel like it can help other people if you're just willing to apply these things. Number 10, you're never at your current state enough. There's always room for progress in this world, and I feel like that's the best part of life. But there are a lot of people who believe they're perfect in everything that they do and everything they already are. The moment that inevitably a misfortune falls upon you, it doesn't really matter what it is. A small little backstep. If you believe yourself to be perfect, it's going to feel less like an opportunity to learn and grow and more as a personal attack on who you are. Failure is a friend of progress, but failure and stagnation are like liquor and pills. The moment you tell yourself you're perfect, when you fail, it's going to feel, once again, less like an opportunity to grow. You're going to tell yourself that if I'm perfect and I still somehow fucked up, maybe I'm just not enough. Many people fail to just understand that at any possible stage, there's always room for development and growth. Number 9, know when to be quiet. One of the greatest strengths any person can develop is knowing exactly when to keep their mouth closed. Part of this is knowing how to let your enemy talk themselves into a hole. Honestly, God, this is something that I hadn't really learned until I was, just about getting into my 20s. And it's something that I still backslide on kind of often. The easiest thing for you to do at any given point is just to be quiet. Oftentimes, the person that is trying to hide the most from you will end up revealing the most by talking to fill that silence. Every human feels the need to do so. It's one of the many facts of life. People get insanely uncomfortable when things start to get quiet. It's the most disgusting feeling for a lot of people. So they keep talking, they keep filling space, and then they tell you something that you're not supposed to hear. Interesting notion, right? Yeah, well, that's you, most of the time. It was me too. The safest thing for you to do is just to keep your mouth closed. Number 8, know when to speak up. Know how I said the safest thing for you to do is keep your mouth closed? Yeah, more often than not, safe is not worth it. You can't let yourself become a doormat. And when you see something wrong or when your core values are on the line, you have to stand up straight and speak for yourself. Don't let the fear or the comfort of silence make a coward out of you. Number 7, you need to stop being afraid of mundanity. And don't change yourself to fit in somewhere else. There's a quiet beauty in the ordinary, predictable day. You don't have to keep chasing high-stakes drama. You don't need a flashy life to have a meaningful life. You never ever have to change the core of who you are just to squeeze into a crowd that doesn't value who you already are. Understand that where you're meant to be is with people who appreciate you for you. Not just the people who like the image that you put out or the people who like what you represent. I'm talking about people who actually respect who you are if and when no one else is around. Be secure in that version of yourself and be okay with letting other people chase the noise. Number 6, know your role. It doesn't matter where you are, what you are, man, woman, anything in between, child, a parent, employee, or boss. You have a position that you need to take. See, life and society are built on partnerships. Every single room you walk into requires something specific of you. At work, you show up early, you sweat, and you deliver what you promised. At home and in your relationships, you carry your weight without being asked twice. You can't be the person who always leaves the heavy lifting in the physical or emotional sense to anybody else around you. Understand that your people will need things of you, and you have to be able to pick up that slack to make things work. Number 5, don't show anyone respect they've denied you. Those who want respect will always give it. And if someone goes out of the way to treat you like dirt, you're under zero obligation to bow down to them. You should never revere, chase, or worship someone who honestly wouldn't care if you lived or died tomorrow. I'm not saying take this into work with you. Make sure you show your boss you won't take any sort of back talk. But I'm telling you to maintain your dignity in your personal relationships. Someone actively is just refusing to acknowledge you or is just letting you text and call them without giving you so much as a gift. These people who just use you for your attention don't really care about you. These are people who are disrespecting you actively, and some part of you who just doesn't really care has already abandoned the sense of needing to recover some of that respect. And I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. Save what little precious energy that you have for actual people who care about you. Number 4 is a big one, but it's a bit of a curveball. I'll explain it altogether. Number 4, learn to trust the worst of the people around you. People will always show you exactly who they are through their worst behaviors, so you need to pay attention. Oftentimes, especially when I was coming up, I used to hear, if someone shows you who they really are, trust them. And sometimes I understand that people are going through different moments. People have their bad days or their bad weeks, their bad months. It happens. But you also need to understand that you need to keep track of that. If someone around you has an outburst, or they disrespect someone, or they don't hold their end, don't be so willing to drop them or cut them off immediately or to confront them over it. But always remember it. You can save yourself from trouble and heartbreak if you just keep track of the records of people around you. Number 3, learn your vices. Not every single addiction is one to cigarettes or drugs or alcohol. A lot of people have addictions to the mundane things. There are people addicted to eating. There are people addicted to, self-pleasure, playing video games, or watching TV shows when they're not really supposed to. Understand that there are some things that will, honest to God, capture your entire attention when you have more important things to focus on. Most of the time when you're bored, you want to fill that emptiness with something that makes you feel genuinely happy, or loved, or valued, or skilled in any sort of field. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a horrible thing to feel good. But at the same time, you have to understand when you're overly reliant on some of these things to fill that void inside you. It's easy to call someone a degenerate when they're, addicted to coke and going through to extensive lengths to get their fix. It's easy to call someone a degenerate when they're addicted to gambling and they put themselves and their entire family under. But when you're addicted to, those videos you see on Twitter, the ones. It's a different level because it's not really as much scrutinized, you know what I mean? But the reason my 600-pound life exists is so you can see the absolute worst of letting those vices get to you. Had there been a show about, just a massive 10-hour-a-day goon, a lot of people would understand how unhealthy most of this stuff is, because when you see it through an actual lens, it changes your entire perspective. What I mean to say is all of these things that seem almost minuscule, they're really just more and more vices that are distracting you from what really matters. Number 2, you're all you have. Try not to be mean to yourself. At the end of the day, when the lights go out, you're the only person who lives inside your head. You need to stop talking to yourself and about yourself like you're your own worst enemy. You would never let a stranger say some of the nasty things that you say to yourself, and I do mean that wholeheartedly. A lot of the worst things that you feel about yourself, a lot of the worst things that you say about yourself, and someone just walked up to you and said that. It doesn't even matter how much you believe those sometimes in your heart, you know for a fact it would come to blows. So why are you just allowing yourself to disrespect yourself when you're really the only support you will have? Like, at the end of the day, you can't rely on anybody else entirely. You're all that you have to keep yourself going. And if you can't root for yourself, you can't expect anyone else to do it for you. So that means be gentle with your mistakes. Learn to forgive your flaws. And give yourself a little bit of grace. Number 10, do one thing you love every single day. Every single day when I wake up, first I clean up my space. I take care of my responsibilities, apply for work, do what else I have to do. But every single day I devote a little bit of time to cultivating a playlist, either making a new one or adding one, just adding maybe 30 songs to a playlist I already have. The point is, I take that time because I enjoy music. That's what I go to. At the end of every single day, I'm listening to it. It doesn't matter the genre. As long as I enjoy myself, I'm happy. Some things like, playing your favorite record, working with your hands, watching the sunset. You can enjoy yourself, even if it's something that doesn't make you money. Understand that you don't have that much time on this earth. You're not going to remember every single bill you ever paid or every single shift you ever worked. But by the end of your life, I guarantee you're going to be thinking about all of the things that you either did or didn't do. You understand? Like I said, this isn't supposed to be, your 10 commandments. I just mean apply this stuff to your daily life, apply this stuff to your interactions, and you will see an improvement. And even myself, I understand that I betray myself on some of these things, even though I try my best not to. But at the same time, having a guide as to how to be better the next day is one of the most important things to me. And when you're actually, in the mud and you're doing your best to try to make it out, having that support, even if it's just telling yourself to do this and that a little bit better, it makes all the difference.